Hi everyone, I'm the Shadow of the Hawk, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, lay back, kick your feet up, have a good time. Or well, actually, this is probably a very bad idea, a very bad video to have a good time because I'm getting angry. I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? Well, if you read the title, you probably know why I'm not happy. But let me articulate further why I'm not happy. Dennis Frenchword explains Dune 2's most fundamental change from the book. Based on the women that you see right here, I will give you three guesses as to what change is being made. The main character of Dune might not really be Paul Atreides. If you guessed wrong at this point, you're living under a rock. It's the year 2024. Men are written out of their stories and replaced with women's side characters. Would you like some examples? Right off the bat, you've got, say, He-Man. You've got The Last of Us, technically. More Last of Us 2, really. Let's go with that one. You've got, fuck, I've recorded this video like twice, and I've already had a bunch. Oh, Kenobi. Happened in Kenobi. Happened in Mandalorian. Happened in Book of Boba Fett. In Avengers, the Hawkeye show, the Loki show. Like, in the Terminator, that really bad Terminator Dark Fate. They killed off John Connor and replaced him with a Latina chick. Like, killing off male characters, especially if they're white. And I mean, well, there's no good picture here, but the Letos are from a world very Spanish bullfighting. I'm pretty sure Paul was white. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, he could have been green. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's hop back into this article. So, in the first book, Lady Jessica emerges as the second protagonist, a counter to Paul's arc, which, if you guys don't know, is a young boy becoming a violent warlord that leads a galaxy-spanning jihad. Now, as Dune Part 2 adapts the rest of that book, audiences will see a greater emphasis on Jessica and the superhuman religious sisterhood of the Bene Gesserit writ at large. What about Paul and his genocide war? Shut the fuck up. The women are what matter. The women. You need to sit down. It's ma'am. Women. Their already pivotal role is even more pronounced in Dune Part 2, and there's clear reason why. Director Dennis Frenchward was determined to preserve his favorite part of Dune, even if that meant changing some details of the story. Oh, okay. So you're taking this book, by the way, yes, I've read this book. The first half is great, the second half gets kind of weird. You're taking this great book and you're looking at the part that you like, and instead of delivering something to the fans of the book, giving what the fans of the book want, you're tearing apart other things, you're ripping apart other things. You've done it enough to where apparently Paul may not even be the main character of his own fucking story. So you can push your fan fiction, so you can push your girl bosses, so you can put your genocidal, eugenics loving space witches. I don't know if they're genocidal. That's fake news. I apologize. Fucking A. You can see I'm angry. My face is going from freaking mayo to ketchup. It's not good. It's really not good. During a 2023 interview at Brazil's XP convention, which I tried to find the original transcript to confirm if this interview was real. I could not. If anyone has access to that, toss it to me. Uh, Dennis Frenchward pointed out that he de-emphasized the role of the Spacing Guild and human computer mentats because he wanted to leave room for the Bene Gesserit's role to be sufficiently impactful. In my adaptation, the mentats suffered, but it's a declaration of love to the Bene Gesserit. So this is not a story about Dune. I did not have the article up. Fuck. This is not a story about Dune. This is a story about the Bene Gesserit. This is a story about your fanfic. And then he goes into basically explaining that he's cutting out Thurfir Hawat, excuse me, the big guy who's like his eyes go back, and in the books sets up the Harkonnens for a pretty major failure. They probably would have still lost to Paul, but Thurfir helps along the way. And he goes that it was a very hard decision to make. Bull fucking shit, mates. It wasn't a hard decision because you wanted your strong space witches. I called this shit. I didn't call this specifically, but I called the idea that Zendaya playing Chani is going to lead to more girl boss stuff. Why? Because in the book, Chani plays an important role, yes, but she is a side character. She's a supplemental character. You could argue she is a plot device to further Paul's story. She helps him integrate within Fremen society. She gives him a reason to be a stronger person. She bears his children. She drives some of his moral decisions, drives some of the things he does. And the children that she bears him also drive how he acts in the world. But she is not a warrior maiden. She is not a badass girl boss warrior fighter. And she's an important character, but she's not a front and stage character. You do not get a woman, an actress like Zendaya, who has that level of star appeal for a character like this. You get some no-name chick trying to get her foot into the industry for that kind of role. So, no, what they are doing is they are inserting girl boss modern day politics. And would you like two more examples? Would you like two more examples? Lady Fenring. In the book, she gets a couple of chapters where she's basically serving as exposition material and backdrop and a little bit of a perspective during the Harkonnen stuff, during the Harkonnen plotline to like kind of set them up and establish them as more bad guy, bad guy. I'm not even going to read this stuff because it's basically, yeah, I'm taking this minor character that is so unimportant to the story that she's just not even ever included in other cinematic editions. And her only real contribution to the story is a side series, a spin-off book written by a guy and Frank Herbert's son. The other character, Arulin, the princess, who is, quote, where is it? While the first three novels point out Arulin's Bene Gesserit powers aren't as pronounced as Jessica's or Alia's, her greatest power as a history writer is unmatched. No, it's not. It's really not. Would you like to know why it's not? This is not a history book. This is first person or third person perspective. Actually, no, it is first person because you get into characters' heads. First person. We know what these people think. We are in their minds. We are in their fucking minds, and we are in their heads. We know what they're thinking in the moments, to the extent, like to extents that like Arulin cannot possibly know. Details that Arulin could not possibly know. So this is not a history book. This is the actual tellings. So no, Arulin does not have power in the story at all. She does not. What she is an exposition material to share information about the world and to kind of foreshadow how things happen and to be a prize and a bargaining chip for Paul and the Emperor in the last couple of chapters. That is her role. Do you want to know what a history book is? This is a history book where you are not a fly on a wall, where you are reading information from documented sources or from guesswork based on regional information that you're able to acquire. Do you want to know what is a mixing of the two? Conan, which is fictional, yes. But the Conan books draw the line kind of weird, in my opinion, because in many instances, in many instances, especially from the films and some of the comics, it's fairly clear that these stories are being narrated to someone. So there is a level of unreliable narrator there, but at the same time, they also happened. They're actually real history. So they're weird. A good example of that would actually be this book right here, African Samurai: The True Story of Yasuke, where the writer adds in like elements of getting into the character's head and kind of assuming how he would be thinking, but also it's a history book fundamentally. We don't actually know what happened. We don't have the ability to be the fly on the wall or to be the little parasite in the brain. So that is why the line about Arulin is bad. And the fact that she is being elevated beyond exists, shares exposition, and is a bargaining chip is fucking stupid. Now, if you're going to argue, well, she's important in the later books, in the later content, have her importance then. You don't need to set up her importance now, because if her importance comes up in the later books, you can display that in the later films or later TV shows based on those books. Right now, in this book, which is what this film is adapting, her importance is as an exposition material and as a tool of political intrigue. She's not a strong girl boss. She is not powerful. She is not something that matters in the grand scheme of things into the same level as, say, Paul. And that's fundamentally so. Thurfir is, yeah, he's a character. He's mentioned. He's important. He set some things up. But arguably, his role in the next film could be dealt with in like 2 or 3 scenes, maybe a total of 5 minutes for the entire film, maybe 10 if you want to push it. He is not entirely necessary for the story. Cutting him out is not a big deal. But the problem is you say that you have this problem with to tell this story correctly, we need to remove arguably a fairly important plot. And we are going to elevate 2 characters who are basically footnotes in the main story, in the story of the first book. So no. It's not a problem of telling the story accurately. It's not a problem of telling the best. It's you want to force in your modern day beliefs, your bullshit fan fiction into this story that fans like. And you couldn't do that within the constraints of the rest of the story. So you start gutting things. So you start changing details. Anyone else getting Witcher season 3 vibes? Or sorry, not season 3. Anyone getting the Witcher show vibes? Because that is all what that show is. Anyone getting those vibes? Anyone getting the Wheel of Time? Anyone getting the Rings of Power? Anyone getting the fucking Last of Us? Anyone getting Velma? Are you starting to see what I'm putting down right now? Why should we expect these warning signs to not be applied? Oh, because House of the Dragon? That's one example. It's a good example. It's a good show. But the fact is, when it smells like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and dies like a duck, it's probably a duck. That or it's a druid, one of the two. Point being, this film is going to have girl bosses. It's going to have excessive amounts of girl bosses. And in the modern day, when you do that at the sacrifice of other parts of the story, you make an objectively bad film. You make an objectively bad piece of content. The Witcher is a bad show. The Rings of Power is a bad show. Velma is a horrendous show. The Last of Us 2 is a horrendous show. Or sorry, The Last of Us is a horrendous show. Halo, the fucking Halo show, horrendous show. All of these, like, I'm gonna end it here because I'm freaking losing my shit. I'm losing my shit. I'm getting mad. No one wants Mad Shadow. No one wants Mad Shadow. No one. To quote the the Society of Magical Words, I'm not allowed to say, but means black in Spanish. The most dangerous animal in the world is an angry white guy, or something to that effect. Anyway, I have been the Shadow of the Hawk. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you want to join the conversation, hop down below. If you hated this video, hit the dislike button. If you want to harass me or continue the conversation in the future, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter for more stuff, and check out my coffee page if you want some really cool original stories. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good day. See you next time. And, well, not much else to say. Peace.